Welcome to a new update, and today we're going to cover the markets. Of course, we're going to dive into the topic of CZ and SPF in a very short update, as I still try to have some sort of holiday here in Oman, which is a beautiful country, I can tell that. But of course, after this big event, it's not that much fun as I used to have on a vacation. Before we continue, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, make sure to check out our trade letter, which is completely free, and you can check that if you want to stay tuned on the markets. We dive deep into what's been happening in the markets in that trade letter as well. And of course, we do have a partnership with Bybit. And then when we talk about partnerships, so I've also had a partnership with FTX earlier. I swapped that partnership because I didn't like the communication with them a few months ago. They were also fighting with KOLs, etc. But I didn't know anything about this fact that this has been taking place, which is destructive for retail mostly, as I feel like that there is an inside group who definitely knew about the entire case of Alameda. And there is also a coincidence that CZ has been tweeting out of transparency. And I think the essential part about the transparency part is that he said that he wants to minimize market risk. And you can actually start developing that in a different way, as in, he probably never would have been taking over FTX, but he could have been saying that he wants to dump FTT, and he knew the impact of the actual tweet, that he was actually aligning with the rest of the markets to make sure that the markets will not collapse, because in the end, Binance wants to gain those customers, of course, but it wants to survive crypto. And if those insiders knew about the entire case, then if you would have let the market run towards 40, 50k or even higher, the impact of the actual liquidation of FTX at that level, because things were inevitable, would have been destructive for the market as a whole. So I'm starting to lean to a case where the markets have been manipulated a ton by the Alameda Research Group and also by FTX in the past months, as I think that we've seen very strange movements on the markets. We've also seen the case of FTX front running the rest. So I think that right now, by what has been happening, there is a case to be made that the actual heaviest impact is already priced in. However, most people are still not getting their funds out of FTX, and that is destructive. Retail is always the loser, so be safe. Store your bitcoins and everything that you don't trade, not on an exchange, and just put it on a ledger, for instance. So going forward, what are we going to expect here? Well, FTX assets have been frozen. There is a lot of sick stories happening right now, people doing all those things, but also some good parts that are being twisted into negative parts because the sickest story just gets the headline. Don't listen to it. Just listen to what the markets are doing. Just listen to the official parts. I'm not going to discuss anything of that. The rumors that we see. Good part is that FTX has been freezing, or their accounts have been frozen, so they can't do much anymore to the markets. Yesterday we've seen the Tether move. Probably it was FTX trying to make money out of it. BlockFi has been going bankrupt or pausing withdrawals. Crypto.com, on the other hand, is going to show proof of reserves. Binance have been showing that and is still working on it. And I think that multiple parties are working on a solution to actually make the pain less on FTX. And then next, we also see that during the actual crash of the markets, we have got an all-time high in volume of Bitcoin. So yes, I see all the theories of Bitcoin going to 10k and the comparisons with Mt. Gox, but Mt. Gox was different. There was only one exchange, and in this case we do have a big exchange that has been failing, but it has been failing in the first place already. So for months, a group of people has been seeing this and have seen or had the thought that FTX was probably going to go down, and that's why Binance or CZ is tweeting it. That it's not going out of the blue that they are selling such a big position. So I think that the markets and the big parties are trying to survive crypto here, and I think that in order to make crypto big again, we probably need this, and we probably need the bad players to go out. So that's my view right now. Going forward, I think we just should be focusing on levels. I've been scrolling a lot on Twitter to see what news comes out. I think FTX is done, and there's going to be a lot of legal stuff taking place afterwards. Binance is still up. and there are other exchanges up. There's a ton of volume going towards Binance and a ton of inflow of money as well. So yeah, I think that it's going to be a tough period with accumulation, but there are some levels that we should be watching. So we're jumping into the markets when it comes to the trades. So when we are discussing the markets and the potential levels, we should also focus on what we have been seeing yesterday, which is CPI came in. CPI was the lowest since January 2022, a very deep fall, a big miss, and there is actually a chance that CPI is coming off a cliff as the expectations of CPI being as high as has been projected have been lowered, and the inflation might actually be lower as we are getting potentially into a period of deflation, through which the markets are most likely going to have a positive impact, at least the stocks will have, and therefore you see that Bitcoin is the outlier because of the entire case of Sam. And I think that the past crash on the markets have also been due to him. I think that most of the time spent in this range has been to either market movers or market participants knowing about this, just refusing to buy the markets at all. And second, Alameda just trying to get this whole done, make things work, and it has not been working. And he needed probably the markets to go up, and probably other participants have not been letting the markets go up because FTX just had to go down. And we are at that point right now. So if you think about that, we've just witnessed a crash on the markets. And when we go to Coinbase, it is next to the COVID 2019 crash of March 2020, is the largest volume week ever. We know what happened after COVID-19. I'm not saying that we see the exact same, but you can see that capitulation and the actual crash has been showed into the volume as well. Binance has the exact same, highest volume ever here, and it has been building up, but that's also due to the fact that there are 0 fees at this point on the market. So you actually have to check out the perpetual, which have also been getting into theories of highest number ever. So when we're looking at Bitcoin, I cannot say where we're going to go to. I can only discuss which levels are important to watch. I think that Michael Saylor at 14k is definitely a ghost theory, or like a big theory of, okay, if we go there, we go to 9k. That is what you see on social media. I doubt we will. FTX has been going down, BlockFi is going down, we knew that already. Unless Binance is going to collapse, or unless anything else is going to collapse, we probably are at close towards the actual bottoming procedure. What should you be doing? I think you just should be staying calm. What I'm watching here is, of course, the level at 14k, which is an important one, 12 to 14k. We might be getting there if the markets got some news again to again let the markets drop. On the other hand, if we reclaim the level at 18.5 very fast, it's going to trigger a ton of shorts to get out of the markets, because people are shorting at this point due to the fact that there's such an incredible negative sentiment right now. So if we do reclaim 18.5, it can start running quite fast, just like we have been seeing with COVID-19 or any V-shape. I don't think we will, but this is the level that I'll be watching, 18.5k, 18 to 18.5k. If that breaks, we're most likely going to see continuation to the upside. And if we look at the stocks, for instance, we also know that stocks have been moving very fast lately. They have been running by more than 7% yesterday due to the CPI number, consolidating right now, but probably the trend starts to go up when it comes to the stocks. When we're looking at the Dow Jones, it is up towards the range highs. It is only down approximately 7 to 8% from the all-time high. So it's not that bad at this point at all. Looking at the dollar index, tanking massively. So there is an actually gateway for Bitcoin to start moving again, especially when we can see that also yields are falling off a cliff. We have been discussing this, and the chances are that the yields are going to continue falling in the coming period, which is only going to be positive for crypto and for risk on assets. When we're looking at the DXY, we can also see the same conclusion. I've been making this chart here, and we are finally starting to drop, which means that other currencies are starting to show strength. So the more the patience and the panic goes away on the markets, and there won't be any strange stuff coming out again, we might actually be breaking 18.5k, but that is just a question mark at this point. Obviously the trend is down. Obviously the markets have been getting a huge impact from FTX collapsing, We need to get regulation. I think it's going to be positive for the markets overall. So that's what we're watching right now, and I'll be back on Monday with fresh new updates. Tomorrow and Sunday we're going to do regular updates on explaining stuff. So enjoy your day, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday. Ciao.